Hi everyone, Meteorologist Ethan Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center for our Sunday edition of 19atSIX, our weekend weather show. Available wherever you stream, including on YouTube, including on Facebook, both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX. If you have any kind of questions or comments, you can chime in there, and we'll be happy to answer those questions right here, as long as you're respectful, of course. YouTube eventually will be able to do questions and comments there, but for right now it is just on Facebook. So hopefully you've all had a wonderful Sunday. I sure have. Getting some extra stuff done here in the First Alert Weather Center. Updating some graphics. In fact, I was doing just that last minute, and that's why I'm a little out of breath here, running back and forth, trying to make sure everything's set up and good to go. But without further ado, let's give you that forecast first. As always, I give you the first few minutes of tonight's forecast, tomorrow's forecast, and the updated 7-day forecast. And then we'll go back to kind of going through everything through a process, answering questions, things like that. So if you're new here, we try to give you the forecast first. So that way, if you got plans this evening, maybe you're at the tailgate, maybe you are hosting a party for the Bengals game tonight, well, I want to make sure you get that time to do that, but also get the forecast, because I don't want to waste your time. But, of course, this is a weather show that's about 30 minutes long, so I've got to talk about a lot of other stuff, too. But for this is just a quick forecast look. That way, if you need to get back to what you're doing, you can. Overnight tonight, we got a low temperature down to 46 degrees. We'll call it partly cloudy. And it'll be a little breezy tonight. Gusts maybe around 20 miles per hour tonight. And then for tomorrow, looking at a mostly cloudy sky for the whole day. And chilly and breezy. Gusts tomorrow could get up to 30 miles per hour. And tomorrow's high is going to be 59 degrees. So a much cooler day tomorrow. And actually much of the work week will be chilly. In fact, you'll see here on our 7-day forecast, Monday, again, a high of 59. Also can't rule out a slight chance of showers. That is evident on some forecast models we'll dive into here in a little bit. Tuesday, also, we're looking at a slight chance of showers, but even colder with a high of only 56 degrees. Wednesday up to 58. Looking at some morning frost perhaps on Wednesday morning. With morning lows in the mid-30s by that point. And then frost potential for Thursday morning and Friday morning, but temperatures do make it back in the 60s for the afternoon hours for both Thursday and Friday. And then next weekend, we do return in the 70s for highs with morning lows back in the 40s. And I will say that if you miss the warm weather after looking at Monday through Thursday, well, we've got even warmer weather on that 14-day forecast. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But that is your forecast first. I try to give it to you within the first few minutes, so that way you can get back to anything you want to do this evening. Because it's Sunday, people got the Sunday scaries. Hopefully you don't. I don't, because tomorrow's my Saturday. This is my Friday, so there's no such thing as Sunday scaries for a weekend meteorologist. But let's go ahead and take a look right now at some current conditions here in the Tri-State. I'm going to start with one of our cameras. Beautiful view of our Newport Levee camera once it loads. It might start with a black screen just because it loads. It takes a moment for it to load, as technology sometimes just isn't always the fastest that you'd like it to be. But this is one of our cameras. Has a really slow delay, but once it pops up, you'll see here, again, a beautiful view. This is on our Newport Levee camera. Notice it's shaking a little bit because of those gusty winds, and as you can see right now, we do have a few clouds out there, but otherwise it is mostly sunny. And temperatures this hour at 6 o'clock, 73. So it has begun to cool down a little bit out there, but it's still pretty warm if you step outside. And then also our tower camera. This is located towards Fairmount. It also looks quite beautiful there, and a little bouncy because of the breezy conditions, but otherwise, nice and quiet. And looking at radar and satellite here in a moment, you will also notice that it is pretty quiet here, at least in the Fox 19 now viewing area. But we do move off to the north, and you will see some activity over towards northern Ohio, also towards Michigan area, looking at some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms there. And this is part of that low pressure system. So this is the front, one of the fronts, and then we are looking at kind of a reinforcement of colder air behind this late tonight into your Monday. But this is that low pressure system. This is the culprit for why it is going to be chilly here, and even see the chance of some light rain showers both Monday and Tuesday. But let's look back at today, because today was a warm day for sure. We had temperatures well above normal. In fact, we didn't quite crack the 80s as we thought in the first alert forecast. Just off by 2 degrees though. That's pretty good. But 11 degrees above normal for this time of the year. 63 the morning low. That's even warmer than what I expected. But very warm conditions, no doubt. So after today, things get much cooler, at least briefly. Taking a look right now, again, 73 at CVG. Some spots could maybe be close to upper 60s. We'll see that here in just a moment. Yeah, so 68 right now over towards Batesville, Indiana. 69 in Middletown, 70 at Wilmington, Lebanon, 72 in Hamilton, 74 at the Lunken Airport and Batavia. Falmouth also shares CVG's temperature at 73, and in Harrison, it's right at 70 degrees. So the cooler air is beginning to move in, and you'll also see on the dew point map that drier air is working in. If you remember, or if you were watching us on Saturday for 19atSIX, dew points were in the 50s. Now they're in the 40s, so drier air is working in. And it'll be even drier heading into both Monday, Tuesday, and in fact, all next week. The dew points will be in the 40s primarily. But it is breezy, for sure. Winds right now sustained between 10 and about 25 miles per hour. And then gusts are, well, up to 35 miles per hour. We told you, 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts would be possible. And we're seeing that now, especially to our north and east. So again, tonight is going to remain a little breezy, not quite as gusty as it is right now, but we will see gusts maybe up to 20 miles per hour overnight tonight, as those temperatures do dip down into the mid-40s. 46, we'll call it, in Cincinnati. And then tomorrow we got mostly cloudy conditions, and with the cloud cover, with the winds coming in out of the west and eventual northwest, it's going to limit those high temperatures to just the upper 50s. And again, also a slight chance of showers will be possible Monday, primarily for Monday afternoon. We'll show you that forecast model data here in just a moment. It's been almost 10 minutes now, so take a pause real quick. Take a look at any kind of Facebook questions or comments that we might have on both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page. So we've got one comment on the Fox 19 Facebook page. Dana Phillips says, good evening. Hey, good evening to you as well. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. Hopefully you got any kind of chores that you need to take care of done. Hopefully you're able to relax this evening before the work week tomorrow. I got 3 comments on my Facebook page. We'll check those out real quick. Jeff says, hello, Ethan. How are you doing? I'm laying around watching football, ready for the fall weather. Yeah, it's a good football day, if you ask me. I mean, it was some close games that occurred earlier. I was watching a little bit of the Browns-Eagles game. Of course, we were airing it on Fox 19. I was also watching a little bit before hopping on here, the Cowboys and Lions game. Lions are looking like a really solid team. And I know in the sports world it's probably frowned upon, but I actually have a second favorite team, and it's the Lions. Reason being, it's not because they're from Detroit, because they're not originally from Detroit. They're actually originally from Portsmouth, Ohio, back in the early 30s. I think it was the late 20s and early 30s. They were the Portsmouth Spartans. And if you ever traveled down to the Ohio River in Portsmouth area, there's the huge flood wall that has the painting kind of honoring that team that was in Portsmouth. We've got more questions coming in. We'll answer those here in a second. But yeah, if you're ready for the fall weather, we certainly have that coming in tonight and tomorrow. Susan saying, no warmer weather, please. I want it to feel like fall. It'll feel like fall for a few days, but it will get warmer next weekend for sure. Sheila asking, when is the frost coming? As early as Wednesday morning. We'll show you that here in a little bit in more detail. And then Jeff's talking some football. We'll talk about football here in a little bit, Jeff. Going on a tangent because people are wanting to know certain weather stuff. Rachel on the Fox 19 Facebook page asking, any severe weather coming our way? No. Happy to report no severe weather is in the forecast for us tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday. Everything looks quiet for the foreseeable future, Rachel. So kind of a boring forecast if you like severe weather. If you don't like severe weather, then you must be happy because we don't have that anytime soon. But thanks, Rachel, for commenting. Nick saying, watching from Cleveland, very rainy here, got over an inch of rain last night. I'm sure those cells that were moving through last night in Cleveland were training cells. In fact, I was showing it on 19atSIX yesterday, and I was noticing that it was just repeated rounds of rain. So definitely some rainfall up there in northern Ohio. But we'll go ahead and take a look right now at our forecast here because, again, we have chances of rain coming in. So we'll take a look at this forecast model. It does a fairly good job at least it's done a good job recently because it sniffed out the fact that we would be dry today a few days ago. I didn't believe it, but more evidence piled up, and today did turn out to be dry. So you'll see here tonight into tomorrow, it does look rather dry, but I still can't rule out a slight chance of showers late tonight as that front passes through. But we will look at morning lows tomorrow into the mid-40s for most. Tomorrow, a lot of cloud cover developing, just kind of the nature behind that front of just low to mid cloud development. And notice here for tomorrow, just a few light showers, a couple of green dots here and there, kind of scattered around the entire region. So notice there's no indicators of yellow, orange, or red, so nothing looks to be heavy. It looks to be very brief, light shower activity that could develop anytime tomorrow during the daytime hours. So keep that in mind. It'll also be breezy. So it's going to be one of those situations where you might get a burst of a light shower for 5-10 minutes and it'll go away and stay pretty chilly. Temperatures will be, again, those mid to upper 50s. Monday night into Tuesday, same story, just for the overnight hours. So for Tuesday morning, for the morning commute, could be a few wet roads out there. Otherwise, it'll be kind of chilly for your Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday afternoon, of course, chilly and chances of rain. But notice Tuesday, we do have more coverage of rain compared to Monday. So if either day has a chance of rain, Tuesday has a better opportunity for you to see rain as opposed to Monday. So Tuesday, we do have more widespread opportunity for rain. But notice again, it's just light to dark green, indicating light to maybe a very brief pocket of moderate rain at best, but nothing more than that. And then we go into our Tuesday night, into Wednesday, clear skies. And then, of course, that threat for frost does come into play. So we'll take a look at our frost freeze alerts here with your first alert forecast. And you'll see here, this is for nighttime. So it says Tuesday, but it's for Tuesday night. Tuesday night, frost possible. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, frost getting pretty close to likely. But then we go into next weekend and the chances will go away because it will get warmer here into the region. And what we'll do now is take a look at rainfall from the forecast models to see, or just kind of to emphasize that both Monday and Tuesday rain will be pretty light. We're not looking at anything substantial, nothing heavy, nothing impactful, nothing strong or severe. It's just going to be light shower activity. And at most, I think this model is overdoing it just a little bit, but I think at most for Monday and Tuesday, maybe 1/10 of an inch at best. I don't foresee us seeing 1/4 of an inch of rain out of all of this. It's going to be very small raindrops, very light, and working with that drier, colder air at the surface. But we certainly will be breezy, though. In fact, let's take a look at our future wind gusts here. And I'll go ahead and take you all the way out to Wednesday with it. Just that way you can plan and prepare for some breezy conditions. So, of course, it's breezy right now. We go into tonight, gusts set around 20 miles per hour. We'll hold on up until Monday morning. Then Monday, as the day progresses, gusts will get as high as close to 30 miles per hour. Winds will die down Monday night into Tuesday. And then Tuesday during the day, we might see a gust of around 20 miles per hour. And the same goes for Wednesday. Wednesday will also see gusts at around 20 miles per hour for much of the tri-state. What I want to do next is show you a long-range computer model. And this long-range computer model is going to show us the chances of rain for Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll also look at ahead to next weekend. So here we have it. Monday again, very light activity. Tuesday also light activity, but notice it's a little more widespread compared to Monday. So Tuesday has a better chance of rain compared to Monday. And then Wednesday we do dry out. This model is trying to bring in a lot of cloud cover for Wednesday. I think we're going to be a little bit more on the clearer side on Wednesday as of right now. This is actually kind of rather new with this model from what I was looking at yesterday. But we go ahead and go into Thursday and Friday. It's quiet. In fact, let me pause it real quick. Whoop. So if you notice the direction of the clouds and the rain, what we've got right here is a big area of high pressure right here. It's beginning to develop. And you can see, if you notice the cloud cover, they're moving this way. If you see over here, it's moving this way. And then down here, it's kind of going up. So this big area of high pressure is going to be kind of the focus as to why we get warm going into next weekend and continuing into the following week. So watch those clouds I just pointed out behind me. Let's play it out. Again, you see kind of the spin, the clockwise spin. That's a good indicator of high pressure in the northern hemisphere. So we go all the way into next weekend. If you remember, if you watched us yesterday, if you watched us the last couple of days, we are mentioning that next Sunday could have a chance of rain. That is no longer the case. I've eliminated that chance because of this high pressure. It gets a little bit stronger. And what's going to happen is this high is going to begin to sink south as the rain out of a low pressure system does move in to the Great Lakes region on Saturday. So watch this front. As it gets closer, it falls apart. Why? It's because of that high pressure. The high pressure will weaken. It's going to sink to the south. But as it does that, the trade-off is that it's going to cut off some of that moisture with this frontal system for next Saturday into next Sunday. Look at the date here, October 20th. So this is October 20th. Play it out. Again, the front is weakening because of that high pressure. We go into early the following week. So this is October 21st. High pressure. It ain't going nowhere. It's keeping things pretty warm, too, for high temperatures. But it will eventually weaken a bit more. And what we've got is just a pretty dry forecast for the next several days, aside from Monday and Tuesday's chances, of course. We'll pause it here with the model data. I do want to point out one thing before we get back to the comments and questions, and then we'll go ahead and show you the 7-day and the 14-day forecast. So if you continuously watch 19atSIX on Saturdays or Sundays, the last few weekends I've been teasing around October 25th, look out for a pattern change. Things changed. And I want to show you that what I was watching in those models was this, right here, this green and blue, this strong area of low pressure system. In previous models for the last few weeks, this thing went further south. The darn high pressure right here is pushing it north. So for the weekend of October 25th and 26th and 27th, it now looks drier and it now looks like temperatures will be a little bit warmer than normal. Now that being said, there are indicators that we might see slight chances of rain, but the good soaking rain that at one time looked to be a good possibility is now much further north, and then the model stops there. So through the last weekend of October, it's going to be drier than normal and warmer than normal for temperatures. And at this point, we'll take a pause. We'll look at, actually, before we take a pause, if you got plans coming up for Blink, here is that forecast with Blink Cincinnati. So Thursday, we will see temperatures recover to 62. By Friday, we're up to 69. Saturday, 71. We're dry, we're mild, and if you're going to be out there, no issues. Of course, if you're heading out Thursday night, keep in mind it is going to be a little chilly around that time frame because we're looking at temperatures dipping down into the lower 40s late that night. But that is the forecast for the end of the week into next weekend. Again, we'll take a pause right here, look at some Facebook comments and questions, and then we'll go ahead and show you that 14-day forecast here in a moment. Kathy asking, is there a hurricane coming again? Right now, no. There is one system in the tropics that we are watching, but it's going to be kind of a slow developer. And I'll show you that graphic here in a moment. Karen asking about the winter season. Nick asking about November weather. So we will go ahead and dive into those things here in a few minutes. So bear with me. I want to get to the 14-day first before we answer those questions. I do want to check out my Facebook page real quick, make sure I don't miss out any of those questions or comments, and then we'll move right along. Okay, we'll talk about the football real quick. Jeff saying you didn't know that where the Lions came from was Portsmouth. Yeah, it is a pretty crazy fact, isn't it? Daryl says bring on the cooler weather. Sheila also says, didn't know about the Portsmouth thing with the Lions. New Richmond is windy now, a few dead limbs lingering in the trees. Yeah, with these gusty winds. I mentioned yesterday, if you watched this late last night, that with the fact that foliage has progressed a lot quicker because of the drought we had back in September, the leaves are going to fall off a lot easier. And with how dry it's been, some of those limbs can break off to be just a little bit easier. Debbie also says, I can feel fall's on its way, loving today's weather. Yeah, it's pretty nice and warm and breezy, no doubt, for this afternoon. Okay, so we'll answer Karen and Nick's questions here in a moment. I do want to look at the 14-day forecast first. That way we can go ahead and get that out of the way, and then we will dive into climate outlooks. So here is the 7-day forecast. I'm going to pull it up full screen for you once it loads. And you'll see temperatures will gradually warm up by the end of the week going into next weekend. So you'll see here several opportunities for frost, namely Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings. But the coolest day is going to be on Tuesday during the daytime hours. High of 56 degrees, and again, a slight chance of rain both Monday and Tuesday. And then the clouds will break out, clearer skies, which means colder nights will move in for Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, with more sunshine than cloud cover. But then we go into next weekend, and it does get warm. Low 70s for highs, low to mid 40s for lows, both Saturday and Sunday. And beyond the 7-day forecast, you'll see things get even warmer. I've got the low to mid 70s for October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, as that high pressure was going to be really felt around that time. As I mentioned, going into that weekend of the 25th, 26th, it does look drier now, but there are some indicators that we might see a chance of rain. Doesn't look to be widespread, doesn't look to be a lot right now. So I'm going to keep the slight chance there for that last weekend of October. And high temperatures will slowly dip down into the mid 60s. It's going to stay, that's actually above normal for this time of the year going into October 26th and 27th. But sheesh, tell you what, the Bengals crew, they have a lot of notifications on their apps. Sorry, I was trying to click those away. Upper 60s for highs around that weekend. Lows will be in the upper 40s and low 50s. If you're curious how that looks compared to normal, as I say, it's above normal. This kind of gives you an idea of just how above normal that is. So we go into the 7-day plus, and of course, this week is going to be below normal. Highs in the mid to upper 50s, lows in the mid to upper 30s and low 40s. We go into this upcoming weekend, Saturday the 19th and 20th. Highs will be back above normal, lows will be near normal. We go into the following week. Highs above normal, lows above normal. We go into the last weekend of October, still above normal for both the highs and the lows, but the margin is a little bit closer going into the end of the month. So that is your 7-day plus. And what we'll do now is we'll dive into the outlook. and I haven't used these in a hot minute, so let me double check and see if this is going to work. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to edit this graphic really quick, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. So what we'll do here real quick is I'm going to talk right now. That way you know that I'm still here with you. But I need to update this graphic because it's severely outdated. So give me about a minute or two. While I'm waiting, I want to hear from you. Do you prefer the colder weather around this time of the year, or do you prefer to keep it warm? I ask simply because, you know, there tends to be a kind of a, it's a hot topic, pun not intended, just simply because this time of the year you tend to get a little bit of everything here in the tri-state. You get the days where it's really chilly, you get the days where it's just downright hot, and that is, you know, this 7-day forecast has that, but it's not looking really wet in that case. Okay, I updated what I needed, so let's go ahead and begin with the 2-week outlook. This is something unexpected, or this is something you should expect because I just showed you the next 2 weeks of our forecast, and of course, it is above normal. When it comes to rain, below normal. So as I mentioned, very dry forecast for the most part. And as you can see, just to the north and west of us, we've got higher than normal rain chances. And that's that area of low pressure I was telling you about around that October 23rd, October 24th time frame. And this is actually a positive sign for us in the long term, because what this is a sign of is the beginning stages of the La Nina pattern coming to fruition. And we'll eventually see it develop. It doesn't look to be quite as strong as previous forecasts, but we do have indicators that La Nina is going to happen. We look into the next 3 to 4 weeks. So going into the first week and into the middle of November, overall, temperatures do look to remain above normal. However, with precipitation, we're right there. We're right there. Still be a little bit dry, but we will have some rain chances by the early part of November. And when it comes to the seasonal outlook, which this is the next 3 months, we are looking at temperatures getting closer to normal. So the warmer weather, not quite as strong as it's going to be here this upcoming weekend into the following week. And when it comes to rain chances, we will see an increase of precipitation in the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley region. So this right here is a very typical thing to see as we enter La Nina. If you don't know what I mean by La Nina, let me break it down for you here real quick. So to answer your question about November, I think November temperatures are going to be, let me back this up here. I think November temperatures are going to be just above normal, especially to start the month. I think towards the end of the month, temperatures will actually kind of get near normal. When it comes to precipitation chances, I think we're going to see near to above normal. So we're going to begin to see that pattern shift to give us more rain opportunities here in the region. That's the answer for you, Nick. And Karen, about asking snow for this season, we'll answer that right now. So La Nina pattern. If you're not aware, this is the explainer. You got trade winds off of South America. It pushes the warm surface waters over towards the west or the East Pacific. But in certain years, the trade winds are a little bit stronger. And what happens is you get the cooler water temperatures beneath the surface that come up, and it gives you cooler than normal sea surface temperatures near the equator in the Pacific Ocean. That directly affects where the Pacific jet and polar jets interact. And so what it often does for us is it favors a wetter than normal pattern in the Ohio Valley region for La Nina. This is a normal La Nina scenario. Every time you get a La Nina pattern, Some are stronger, some are weaker. In our case, we're going to have a weaker La Nina. And what that means is that this Pacific jet is going to have a little bit more of an influence to kind of kick this up a little bit. And so I think the forecast is going to favor this wetter pattern to be further north. We'll still have wetter than normal conditions, but I think overall it's going to be mainly for the Great Lakes region and up to the tri-state. I think the lower Ohio Valley may not see as much above normal precipitation as this graphic suggests. And with that, the drier and warmer conditions will be kind of elevated a little bit further north. So that's going to favor temperatures probably closer to near or above normal with the above normal precipitation. So to answer your question, Karen, I think we will see probably more snow than last year, though that's not saying a lot. But I do think we're not going to see as much snow as you'd like to see. I think we're going to have more of a soggy winter than a snowy winter, just simply because those temperatures don't favor the cooler than normal that you'd like to see. Now, don't get me wrong, every winter we're going to see snow at some point. I just think it's going to be more rainy days than snowy days. Susan, we're going to dive into the comments real quick. So hopefully I answered your questions, Karen and Nick. Susan says, cooler weather for October. Yeah, it's cooler for the next few days, but unfortunately it gets a bit warmer next weekend. Jean says, cool. Indeed. Indeed it is. Susan, I like it cool so I can make chili. Yes. Good chili making weather. And one thing my dad makes often is white northern beans. Slow simmer with onions and ham. Oh, that's so good, especially after a day of being out in the cool weather, chopping wood, getting firewood set and prepared. And then you come inside and have a pot of beans that have been slow cooking all day with, again, the onion and the ham and pepper and all that. It's so good. The Appalachian in me really enjoys that. Mickey says, beautiful weather today. And it was really nice. I mean, it was a little breezy, but the sunshine and the warm weather definitely felt nice to get some outdoor chores done, perhaps. Nick asks on the Fox 19 Facebook page, do you think there will be any Arctic blasts this winter? Probably. I mean, those you get a strong enough cold front, it's going to be the case. And typically, when you have the polar jet kind of pushing further south towards the mid-latitudes, you're going to get opportunities for Arctic blasts. I think we'll have a chance to see colder than normal weather here and there, Nick. Look at my Facebook page real quick, my page, Ethan Emery WX. Sheila asking about the winter. Hopefully I answered your question. Jeff saying don't like the way it's looking for snow. Yeah, I know a lot of people who love snow. Sorry. This is just kind of how the pattern is, and I'm just a messenger. Hopefully it changes. It'd be nice to change a lot, but the trend is the La Nina is not quite as strong, meaning that it'll favor temperatures getting a little bit warmer than normal, I think. Sheila also adding with the beans, cornbread and fried potatoes. Yes. It's a great answer. Get some nice cornbread and yeah, you cut up the potatoes and you put them on the skillet. Good stuff. So that is all the comments and questions we have on both the Facebook pages. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and conclude things for our 19atSIX. I'll show you the 7-day forecast one more time. And if you want to see the 14-day forecast, if you missed it, if you're watching right now, I got you covered. It's on the fox19.com/weather, and it's on the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app, and on the First Alert 24/7 weather streaming channel, which will be showing you that video at the conclusion of this, since we're live there right now. So here is that 7-day forecast. Again, we've got high temperatures in the 50s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Lows will be in the 40s, though frost development looks to be a bit more likely for Wednesday morning, as well as Thursday morning and Friday morning. And temperatures will steadily increase after Tuesday, getting into the upper 50s Wednesday, low 60s Thursday. We're back close to 70 Friday, and in the weekend, we've got the low 70s for highs and lows in the low to mid 40s. And again, mainly dry, a few light chances of rain for Monday as well as Tuesday. Does not look to be very measurable, probably a tenth of an inch at best, both on Monday and Tuesday. So that is the 7-day forecast. That has been 19 at 6. Hopefully you all are having a lovely Sunday evening. Programming note, by the way, we are going to be on late tonight because of baseball. This time of year is lovely because of that. It means I get to stay up later and go home later and be forced to sleep in on Monday morning. But little sass there from me. I'm a morning person, so staying up late is not always my preferred thing. But this tonight we're going to be on probably around 11 o'clock because of baseball. It's the playoff games, postseason games with baseball. And once the Reds were out of playoff contention, I honestly haven't watched much baseball. Don't even know who's playing tonight, but I'm sure it's going to be a good game. It'll start at the conclusion of the Lions and Cowboys game, which will be still here on Fox 19. But once that baseball game's over, we'll give you your latest news, weather headlines, of course, and post-game reaction with the Bengals game, of course, happening at 8:20 up in New Jersey against the Giants. And then I think that's the only programming note we've got because, of course, Monday things will return to normal. But if you miss us tonight, Catherine Bodak is filling in for Frank on Monday. She's got you covered with the First Alert forecast beginning at 4:30. And then meteorologist Ashley Smith will be in for the 9 o'clock for the Morning X. And then, of course, Steve will be in at 5 for tomorrow. But that'll do it for 19 at 6. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a wonderful, safe Sunday evening. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock, hopefully. If not, then we've got you covered for that First Alert forecast anytime, anywhere on the First Alert weather app, fox19.com/weather, and, of course, the First Alert 24/7 weather streaming channel. Have a wonderful evening.